CC dropping a new hot one. See what he's talking about. Baby, bye, bye, bye. Oh, shit.
The year is 2002, and
Hell
Justin
yeah.
Timberlake is trying to break away from his iconic pop group NSYNC and prove himself as a solo star. Lucky for him, he has a superstar girlfriend, Britney Spears. But their fairy tale perfect relationship wasn't interesting enough to sell a record. He needed some angst, some hardship, something to justify why a boy as perfect as him could struggle like the millions of fans he is selling his music to. After being unfaithful to the girl who loved him dearly for years, she finally had enough and slipped up. He used that mistake as ammunition against her, and executed a master plan to manipulate a story for him to roll out his first major hit, Cry Me a River, from his debut album, Justified. And his plan worked. Justin sold millions of records solo, and for 2 decades the world thought he was the innocent victim of Britney's evil ways. But now Britney has finally told her side of the story, and it is somehow even darker than we could have imagined. Justin and Britney's history goes all the way back to 1992, where the 11-year-olds met on the set of Disney's The All-New Mickey Mouse Club. In her 2023 memoir,
I know they was that young.
Britney recalls, "Once at a sleepover, we played Truth or Dare, and someone dared Justin to kiss me." Justin also recalled in a 2006 interview that he was in love with her from the start. "I was
Y'all ever play How to Go Get It? Never mind.
Infatuated with her from the moment I saw her." The two young lovers maintained distant friends as their careers went separate ways. In 1998, Justin and his boy band NSYNC were exploding in popularity after the release of their debut self-titled album, which sold 4.4 million copies. Spears' name was already circulating around the industry as a promising singer, so NSYNC's manager Lou Pearlman decided to invite her to open for the boy band in their 1998 NSYNC in Concert Second to None tour. They hit most major cities in North America, selling out 3,000 to 5,000 capacity venues with Britney as the opener. During this tour, she officially released her debut single, Baby One More Time, which went on to reach #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. That same week, her debut album, Baby One More Time, hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 200, making her the first female artist in history to have a #1 song and #1 album at the same time. With two of the biggest and freshest pop sensations on one tour together, who just so happened to have been friends since they were 11 years old, naturally rumors of them dating began circulating.
I've heard like a rumor that you and Justin from NSYNC have gone out. I was just wondering if it was true.
No, it's not true.
Not true?
No, it's
Not true.
Not
No,
true.
I guess because we were.
Well,
on the
she
Mouse
did
Club
that
together,
real
they say
fast.
that- I mean, people are gonna start rumors, try, but no, it's not true.
Okay.
Who's dating Britney Spears?
It's rumored,
Is
Justin.
it rumored? It's
I have
rumored.
to
Is it
say I'm dating Tyra Banks.
Last night on TV, I saw you and Justin from NSYNC making out.
What?
Have you two been? Have you two?
Whoa,
been going out this
that
whole
what the
time?
hell is that?
Terry.
For real?
I don't.
But they both were lying.
Not a
Both
I-
rumors
not
were
a-
true. And
was
Britney
it
and Justin
messenger-
kept their
what kind of-
relationship secret for as long as
AOL
possible.
Messenger
It
and
wasn't
shit?
actually until January of 2001, over 2 years later, where they officially confirmed that they had been in a relationship this whole time. Now it was 2001, and these two were a certified Hollywood power couple. They both were at the peaks of their careers. Britney just released Oops, I Did It Again, and had already generated 30 million album sales in 2 years. Justin and NSYNC released It's Gonna Be Me and Bye Bye
It's
Bye
Gonna
off
Be
their album
Me.
No Strings Attached, which went
That
diamond
No
in the
Strings
first
Attached is a-
year.
is
The
a
couple
legendary
performed
album,
at the
though.
Super Bowl 35 halftime show together. Britney did her iconic I'm a Slave for You performance at the 2001 VMAs, where she claimed that Justin helped her calm her down before she hit the stage. I mean, I was in a cage with a live tiger. Justin saw I could hardly talk, so he held my hand and gave me a 5-minute pep talk, which obviously worked. The media absolutely adored both of them, highlighting their pet names for each other at a charity basketball game, Pinky and Stinky, and note their numbers being 1.5 and 0.5 to make
Bitch,
2
don't ever call
together.
me Stinky.
She told The Guardian in 2001 that Justin was living at her house in Los Angeles
Oh,
during his
shit.
downtime between tours. She also expressed her deep, deep love for him, saying, "I'm not ashamed at all to say that I love him from the bottom of my heart. As far as love is concerned, with him, too much is not enough. He's everything. But it
Oh,
is a
shit.
deeper love now than when I was younger. Like, we've gone through so much together, and we've known each other since we were 12 years old. We know each other inside and out." While she was filming her 2002 movie Crossroads, the director said that Justin was
never
regularly
seen
on
that shit.
set supporting her. The director also had Britney absent-mindedly doodle in a notebook in character as Lucy to show the character's creative aspirations. The director said, "I have the book. All she was writing was Britney and Justin, all these little curly cues. It was like looking at a teenage girl's musing hearts and butterflies
Puppy
in Justin's
love."
name." Britney and Justin in 2001 were an absolute powerhouse.
At this
sharing
time,
a
they,
bond
like,
that was
damn near in their
seemingly
20s though.
unbreakable, and
Not that
fans
much
still
puppy
to this
love.
day look
They
back at
grown.
old footage and see how deeply in love Britney was with Justin.
I think everybody who listens to it will be totally surprised. I think it's the best her voice has ever sounded, and it's
Damn,
such a
Justin.
step in a
Ruined
good
her.
direction for her. And I
Damn,
think
Justin.
obviously, you can tell from the first single, it shows a lot of growth.
I'm just thinking about
and
the
it
shit that's
shows
to
where she's
come.
going with her music. I love it.
Shaving of the head and whatnot.
There is nothing stronger than a first love, and Britney, who was just 20 years old, was extremely
it's 20.
vulnerable and greatly attached
What
to
was
her
Justin,
childhood
30?
lover, which is why the world was shocked to hear in March of 2002 she announced their breakup.
Can I ask you just quite simple, are you single at the moment or not? Or you really don't want to talk about anything at all? You can just say, I don't want to say.
I'm single right now.
The tabloids and media ran wild throughout the entirety of 2002, speculating as to why the perfect couple separated. Justin remained quiet and instead released his very first solo single, Like I Love You, in the beginning of September 2002. This was a shock to the pop world. What about NSYNC? They just had a smash hit
Gosh,
Girlfriend that rocked the radio all
8th
summer
grade.
long. Typically, when a member of a band or group releases a solo song or project, speculation of a breakup is bound to happen. Speaking of breakup, in the exact same week Justin released his new song, tabloids began spreading the narrative that Britney betrayed Justin, and their
Oh, no.
friends alleged that cheating is what drove them apart. As if the narrative couldn't favor Justin even more, he was labeled sexy and single by the media. Like I Love You debuted at number 67 on the Billboard Hot 100, which was a lackluster performance for the lead singer of the biggest pop group in the world. Conveniently, a couple weeks after his first song, new exclusive never-before-seen pictures of Britney and Justin were leaked
Tabloids
to the
destroyed these
tabloids.
people. Tabloids
I wonder
is
who
crazy,
had those
man.
never-before-seen pictures. With the boost in media attention, his song started to climb the Billboard
Oh,
charts,
wow.
eventually
That
peaking
nigga
at
set
number
her
11
up.
in October. Once the song started
They be
losing
doing that.
steam and
Kim
falling
Kardashian
down the
be calling the
charts, he
paparazzi and
finally
shit.
decided to publicly speak about the breakup with Britney in an interview with Barbara Walters.
I remember when we decided that we were going to go our
Shout out
separate
Barbara
ways,
Walters.
we sat down and I said to her, I said, if there's ever a moment where you ever need me, you can rest assured that I will be there because I love you as a person and I will always love you.
This nigga right
But
here
I
is
also said, look, no matter
hamming
what
it
we
up,
say,
boy.
at this point, people
He's a
are
great
gonna
actor.
speculate things and I could really get myself in a horrible position if I was to say something and somebody misinterpreted because that happens all the time. And I promised to her that I wouldn't say specifically why we broke up.
Additionally, he, a grown man, did the interview alongside his mom, which made the people feel like he was a sweet, innocent
They try to
mama's
keep
boy
my
who
little
got
kid
his
for the
heart
longest.
broken.
You know, I cried with him and said, it'll be okay. You know, tomorrow I'll come. I just want him to
Forget
be
about
happy.
I forgot
He
he's
was
forget he's from Memphis. Got that Memphis, Tennessee accent.
Put your
He's
head
a good
up
boy.
on his shoulders. It was tough for us. It was tough for both of us because I can't stand to see him hurt.
Many of the songs on Justified were about heartbreak, betrayal, and relationships in general, but Justin said that the songs were not about Britney.
Feel sorry for me, feel
when
bad
we
for
sat
me.
down at the piano and asked him to play
Ah, breath.
something from Justified, he chose instead to play a song that nobody has ever heard before. Interesting lyrics.
Thought our love was so strong.
Oh my god, Justin, you that's not even a song that's on the album?
But to look at it positively, hey girl, at least you gave me another song about a horrible woman.
Note that last line he said, "At least you gave me another
Damn.
song about a horrible woman." This seems so blatantly obvious it was about Britney. It also basically stamped the fact that his
Who
next
she cheat
song,
with?
Cry Me a River,
Not
was
the
about
dancing
this
nigga,
horrible
who's also
woman.
from
Justin
Fresno, nigga.
allegedly called Britney to let her know that a woman would be acting in the music video as her doppelganger, but she was still shocked to realize that the music video basically recreates and dramatizes their breakup. The lyrics read, "You don't have to say what you did. I already already know I found out from him. Now there's just no chance with you and me. Girl, I refuse. You must have me confused with some other guy. The bridges were burned. Now it's your turn to cry. Cry me a river. You know that they say some things are better left unsaid, and it wasn't like you only talk to him and you know it. Don't act like you don't know it. And all of these things people told me keep messing with my head. Should have picked honesty. Then you may not have blown it. After this song and music video was released, the media was in a frenzy, establishing a war between Britney and Justin. He continued doing press. Nearly every interview asked him about Britney.
Is it frustrating to try to promote an album when all anyone seems to want to talk about is Britney?
So anyway, Britney.
Oh no, Regis.
Now, of course, you did go out with one of your former Mouseketeers, Britney Spears.
That Cry Me a River, that's a beautiful, beautiful video. And what was that about?
Cry Me a River peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and successfully proved that Justin could stand on his own and did not need NSYNC. Timbaland, who produced this track and would go on to produce many of Justin's hits, recalled this moment as proof that Justin could be a solo star.
I think the aha moment for me is when I was in the studio and I was beatboxing. And so he walked in the room, you know, had this face, then he just it hit him right there. And he started humming. I was like, oh, this it. He the one.
His debut album sold 439,000 copies first week, which landed him the number 2 spot on the
felt like that was a lie for some
reason.
reason.
The album would go on to be 3 times platinum.
Ooh.
His plan worked. But Britney gave Justin much more grace. She did not entertain the tabloids. She hardly gave interviews, nor did she try to rewrite the narrative in her favor. However, many believe that her stunt at the 2003 VMAs, where she kissed Madonna on stage, was a way to get back at Justin. At least that's what the media wanted to push as they zoomed in on his face. He says he wasn't impressed.
That kiss thing, I was disgusted as you were.
You know what? I don't think I was disgusted.
No.
I think I was just not impressed. I mean, I expected a lot more. It's the VMAs.
You want them to fuck on stage,
Britney
nigga?
finally decided to speak about the breakup over a year and a half after the fact, and the interviewer, Diane Sawyer, seemed to be interrogating her.
Okay, of course.
He's gone on television and pretty much said you broke his heart.
Oh.
You did something.
This is back when
that caused
TV
him
would
so
destroy
much
you.
pain,
Boy, one interview.
so much suffering. What did you do?
I was upset. I was upset for a while. I think we're both really young, and it was kind of waiting to happen. And I will always love him. He'll always have a special place in my heart. He is such a great person.
But you said, I've only slept with one person in my whole life,
Oh,
2
boy.
years into my relationship with Justin. And yet he's left the impression that you weren't faithful, that you betrayed the relationship.
I think everyone has a side of their story to make them feel a certain way, make them feel, and I'm not technically saying he's wrong, but I'm not technically saying he's right either.
Meanwhile, Justin was doing interviews.
We were on a break! Like Ross, friends.
Justin Timberlake is in the house. And I just want to ask you one question. Did you Britney Spears?
Oh, damn.
Yes or no?
Oh, man.
Come on, man.
Okay, I did it. No.
It was a
That's
really
messed
weird
up,
time.
man.
There was talk
Set him
about
up.
what we did together and really
Set him up how
stuff, and I just felt
that dude
very
set up
exploited
Ashton Bronson.
and
That was
very
dirty.
Weird.
Despite this, Britney chose not to bash Justin or embarrass him when speaking about the Cry Me a River video.
When did you see it for the first time, the video?
I saw it. I was on vacation, and someone called me and told me that it was going to come on, and I watched it, and I was just like, I was kind of in denial. Like, I went in this whole denial phase or whatever, but it's fine. That's the way I don't want to judge him or anything like that, because that's the way he had to deal with what happened, and, and that's fine, but I know that if I was in a relationship and something happened, I couldn't really go there, but it's all good. Let's talk about something else.
At the time, Justin fans
Where
thought
Britney
she wasn't
from?
speaking
I
ill
hear
of
an
him
accent.
because she was actually in the wrong. That she did, in fact, cheat on him, and she
The
was
world
just
turned on
accepting
her.
the narrative because it
Messed
was the
up.
truth. But Britney fans always suspected something was weird with Justin. Their breakup
hold on
just
now.
didn't make sense. Britney loved him. Why would she ever cheat on him? There had to be missing
It was that
information.
nigga from the,
Plus,
you know
when you
what I'm saying?
consider
That
his
boy Fatter
successful
Life
breakout
came
as
through.
a solo artist after departing
with that,
from the
that white
largest
boy
boy
Fresno
band in the
Clovis
world,
game,
and the
nigga.
media heavily favoring him, these things just felt all too convenient. It just felt like it was all part of a plan. Especially after his second controversy 1 year later at the Super Bowl halftime show.
Setup
where
of all
he
setups.
was the
This was
one who
dirty.
ripped Janet Jackson's breast covering off, only for Janet to be banned from radio, crucified by the media, and him to just remain silent.
Come on,
He didn't
bro.
come to her defense, and he skated by that
how it
controversy
is.
totally unscathed. Justin Timberlake was able to
wonder-
successfully advance his career by
wonder why.
benefiting from the publicity of two major controversies while looking like the innocent, sweet boy. Now,
If that was
20
Usher,
years
he might have
later,
been in
Britney
jail.
finally decided to speak about their relationship in her memoir, The Woman in Me. And there are some key details she hid for 2 decades that shine a much-needed light on the complicated reality of their relationship. There were a couple times during our relationship when I knew Justin had cheated on me, especially because I was so infatuated and so in love. I let it go, even though the tabloid seemed determined to rub my face in it. When NSYNC went to London in 2000, photographers caught him with one of the girls from All Saints in a car, but I never said anything. At the time, we'd only been together for a year. Another time we were in Vegas, and one of my dancers who'd been hanging out with him told me he gestured toward a girl and said, "Yeah man, I hit that last night." I don't want to say who he was talking about because she's actually very popular and she's married with kids now. My friend was shocked and believed Justin was only saying it because he was high and felt like bragging. There were rumors about him with various dancers and groupies. I let it all go, but clearly he'd slept around.
What he
It
was
one of
high
those
on?
things where you know, but you just don't say anything. So I did too. Not a lot. One time. With Wade Robson. We were out one night and we went to a Spanish bar. We danced and danced. I made out with him that night. I was loyal to Justin for years, only
Who's
had
Wade
eyes
Robson?
for him with that one exception, which I admitted to him. And in 2002, Justin never mentioned to the press that he cheated on Britney multiple times during the rollout of his Justified album, because that would have devalued his narrative that he was this broken, innocent boy who got taken advantage of by an evil
He's a
woman.
sweet boy.
Britney's story gets even sadder. She goes on to speak about how she became pregnant with his child. At one point when we were dating, I became pregnant with Justin's baby. It was a surprise, but for me, it wasn't a tragedy. I love Justin so much, I always expected us to have a family together one day. This would just be much earlier than I'd anticipated. Besides, what was done was done. But Justin definitely wasn't happy about the pregnancy. He said we weren't ready to have a baby in our lives, that we were way too young. I could understand. I mean, I kind of understand. If he didn't want to become a father, I didn't feel like I had much of a choice. I wouldn't want to push him into something he didn't want. Our relationship was too important to me, and so I'm sure people will hate me for this, but I agreed to not have the baby. Abortion was something I never could have imagined choosing for myself, but given the circumstances, that is what we did. Britney then goes on to describe in great detail the process of getting an abortion and how physically and emotionally painful the experience was. Also, looking back, fans now realize her song and video, Every Time, was about her suffering the loss of her child and comparing it to the magnitude of losing your own life. Justin was there for her at the time, but little did she know he was planning on breaking up with her. When Justin began making his first solo album, Justified, he
Music
started
scare
being
me
very
and shit?
standoffish with me. I think that was because he decided to use me as ammunition for his record, so it made it awkward for him to be around me staring at him with all that affection and devotion. Ultimately, he'd ended our relationship by text messages while I was on set for a video shoot. She also states that
They was
Justin's
texting in
family was the only
2004.
loving family she had, and she spent all of her holidays with them, meaning now she was broken, alone, and suffering the wrath of the media, fueling the
Palm
false
Pilot.
narrative that she was an unfaithful cheater. I felt there was no way at the time to tell my side of the story. I couldn't explain, because I knew no one would take my side since Justin had convinced the world of his version. I don't think Justin realized the power he had in shaming me. I don't think he understands to this day. I should note that in 2021, after the Free Britney movement successfully got her out of her 13-year-long conservatorship,
Nice.
Justin issued a public apology to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson. I specifically want to apologize to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson both individually, because I care for and respect these women and I know I failed. But trust me when I say this apology was kind of random. Nobody was really expecting it. I guess he was getting some hate from Britney fans and decided, oh, I'll just throw this vague apology trying to cover up for my sins of the past 20 years or whatever. It was just kind of random and unnecessary.
They
He
were
didn't go
young.
into detail as to why he was apologizing to Britney and Janet, but this apology was in 2021, and Britney released her memoir in 2023, and after she detailed the cheating and abortion, he expressed that he was not sorry.
I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody.
The way the media treated Britney cannot be entirely blamed
Wait,
on
wait,
Justin.
Conor McGregor on
She
that
suffered
ass.
the wrath of the media well before and well after she dated Justin. You also can't blame Justin for Britney's downward spiral,
I blame
which
him.
led to her extremely unjust conservatorship.
I blame him. I blame him
There's
now.
no doubt that he saw an opportunity to advance his career at the expense of Britney's public perception. Maybe he thought it wouldn't be that bad and the money she would make would be worth it. Maybe he just didn't care about her the same way that she did. But now, over 2 decades later, Justin is not sorry. And after his most recent DWI arrest, the media is now diving deep, speculating about his potential addiction, and the internet is spreading false information that he had Molly, poppers, coke, and an HIV medication
Molly,
in his
sweat.
system. The narrative is starting to shift against Justin Timberlake, so it seems like the tables have turned a little bit.
Oh, what? Nigga, that's crazy. But yeah, yeah. Justin, hey, that boy had to step on some necks to get to the top, man. That's fucked up. But damn, yeah, you know what, Justin? I do blame you. You do gotta take some part of her shaving her head and wilding out like that. Oh man, I wonder what he was high on. But anyways, all right, y'all. Another video by Patrick CC coming up.